Do you hear it? The sound. The hills are alive with the sound of music.
Psalm 100 says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, and you're hearing a lot of joyful noise up here, and there's more to come. Welcome to this 50th anniversary concert of the Niagara Bethany Handbell Choir. 50 years. Some of us look like it, some of us don't, but anyways. This afternoon, we will both remember and participate in the original vision and legacy of Ella Dick, and continued now with passion by Tracey, who I was just told on the way up here is awesome, by the way. She's very awesome. And you out there are the many participants, volunteers, and supporters who have served throughout the years to make today so special. My name is Forrest Miller. My sister Michelle, who's out here, we were part of the original singing choir and the second handbell choir. We have many fond memories to this day. Tours to Germany, for example, Expo 86. You've been seeing some of the pictures up here. However, what happens on tour stays on tour, so I've gone back and edited some of my memories here. I have been asked to continue my role here as MC for a very good reason. The reason is called puberty. Puberty, at a certain age, Mrs. Dick called me aside and said to her sister Dora, we have someone here who you need to speak with. Dora declared that she could teach anybody to sing, and after my voice changed, she gave me 2 lessons only, and after 2 lessons, even she gave up. They had to admit, just put him on the bass bells, and we'll give him a promotion. They promoted me to MC, so I would not need to sing. We were covered anyways because we had Brian Dunn and Jonathan Dick, who would be the male singers, and they were more than capable. They were very inspired by those early days of the choir. They still sing classically today. Both Jonathan and Brian could not be here. They both wish they could be. As I was sitting there, I just got a text from Brian, which I'll read later. But they were inspired in those early days to have a love for music and to continue. Brian even went on with a partial career in music. He was in Phantom of the Opera for over a decade in a lead role, and they both have sung classically in many different venues, and we'll definitely miss them being here today, but they wanted you to know that they wish they could be here. Back in 2015, at the 50th anniversary of the Bethany Mennonite Church that we're in now, an alumni handbell choir was put together to join in the celebration. Many alumni wanted to continue to ring, so Jubilation was created. Today, they will perform some new and familiar songs using many techniques along with chimes and mallets. Jubilation, thank you. Handbells are usually played horizontal on a table, as you've seen, but you can also play them vertically. Hung together on a special pole, they create a bell tree. The bells are rung with mallets to create an ethereal sound. Tracey introduced the handbell tree in 2019, and today we'll be performing "'Tis a Gift to Be Simple," accompanied by Gail Neufeld. We did not have the vertical bell tree back in our day. Bells, mallets, chimes. How about switchblades? We did have switchblades. Yes, the clicking sound from behind the bell table of our newfound German Sylvaneers on the German tour did not lend itself to our concerts there, and we were told we had to stop clicking them in and out because it was disturbing the concert. Brian's mother, Margaret's here, and Brian stopped off in Scotland to see her relatives on the way home, and I believe a Scottish customs agent confiscated his on the way back to Canada, if you recall. You can verify these stories with people in the room. Oops, that's right, I wasn't gonna, what happens on tour stays on tour. I gotta stick to the script here. The bells that Jubilation are ringing are 19 years old. The bells that the Niagara Bethany Handbell Choir are ringing are the original ones purchased 50 years ago, and they're still working well. Jubilation is also ringing Chimes, which are on loan from the Ontario Guild of English Handbell Ringers. The wish is to purchase their own set. This current Niagara Bethany Handbell Choir has been together for just 4 months, and it is amazing what practice can do. Their first song will feature the 4 different ways handbells can be played: ring, pluck, mallet, and thumb damp. Other songs include Joyful, Joyful on mallets, the favorite, My Grandfather's Clock, and 2 classic Disney songs.
grandfather's car.
4 months, did I read that correct? Only 4 months they've been practicing for that.
I've been honored with trying to summarize 50 incredible years, which is just too mammoth a task. So I'm going to miss things, but I hope that you will still feel the spirit that I try to bring to honor Ella Dick and her family for 50 years of Bethany handbells ringing, and of course there was some singing. So we bookend this special day by going back to the beginning. But first I'd like to say I tried to briefly summarize this, but this is a story of love, light, legacy, and the Lord. We go back to the beginning, and I'm going to answer Denise's little shout out that we started with. Do you hear them? The hills are alive with the sound of music. But this is more than just a catchphrase, and I wanted to just briefly read a short passage from Isaiah 55, verse 12. You will go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills will burst into song before you, and all the trees of the fields will clap their hands. This was a promise made. And I want to say that this is what the call for Ella. She was this joyful leader. She was, let me go back, searching back 50 years. I wondered, why would Ella start a handbell choir with a bunch of young children? Who could take on such a mammoth task of teaching, supervising, and carting children and preteens around the world? From Westminster Abbey to the east, in the east, to Expo in British Columbia, Canada's west coast, and even the island of Haiti, just to name a few. From TV shows to radio to cutting records, traveling to many churches, playing at the Shaw, playing for the Queen Mother in Niagara-on-the-Lake, and strawberry festivals and Christmas programs, a list too long to count or to explain at this time. But Ella did. She did because she was joy. She was joy and energy and gifted of God. It was her calling. It was her mission. It was love. For love, she brought the eternal gift of music from her heart to ours. Classical music, Christian music, songs like Olympic Fanfare, and many more. But also for the mission, children helping children, and Grace Children's Hospital in Haiti. I will get emotional thinking of that trip and how it changed my life. I will never forget the orphanage and the children and the joy of the children who still existed with so little. That was part of God's plan, I believe, for all of us and the beginning of a true legacy. Children helping children, and it still continues in how we help each other, how we help the children around us and are still children at heart. Ella also brought light to us, through us, for us, to others. Have you noticed? The bell does not ring without the hand. As long as we lift them, we learned how each note needs to be played. It has a special purpose, a unique purpose, as unique an individual as the people that are playing them. Sometimes they need to be played in a certain time alone, sometimes they play with others, but in general, they hold a special place in many of the songs and the messages that are being portrayed. Always as a team, in unison, with that message, a goal, and with God's blessing. And always needing a director. A life analogy, a spiritual analogy. The bells shine, but they don't speak verbally. They only speak through their sound. And that truly is a life analogy. We lead with light. She brought us light. She shared the light. I think somehow she knew all this, or she sensed it. Despite sometimes we mess up, it's kind of like life too. We lose our place. We search for the cues. We depend on the director. And we need to find our way again. And we need to get our song back. And we need to shine that light and that message that is a spiritual message. So as long as we could follow Ella, or we can follow Tracey, we are able to follow and to send that message that still often, unless the words are in your own mind and your own heart, it's unique to that message and that song. Finally, to try to summarize, one thing I missed, Ella was definitely a loving director, and that legacy lives on through Tracey. To try to summarize the incredible gift she left us, Ella brought us a lasting legacy, a legacy of the Lord, for the Lord. Think of these 3 choirs over the years and how Director Tracey, our present director, carries that on and continues that legacy. And in each person, they're here playing their part, playing their role, part of the team, but still yet uniquely individual in God's timing. Ella's spirit, her joy, her energy, her choice of music, her love for the Lord lives on. Music, love, and light of the world to all. Ella's family and Tracey's family have continued this, each in their unique gift, and we are so blessed that Ella did this. Seeds of the spiritual songs in our lives and in the lives of the people and community around us. So much more I could say. These directors have been supported. Ella's family was around her, Dave was around. The incredible amount of work and planning and timing that it took. Yet it was always personal. It was always in service. It was always in love, in light, in legacy, and in a new legacy that I think may be born from those around us, from those serving now, from those playing now. So I finish as we began, with another legacy that was passed down in an old Christian song, of course, by George Frederick Handel, because it was classical and timeless and a gift. Thanks be to thee, or Dank sei dir Herr, as it's maybe pronounced a little better in German than I can pronounce it. Thanks be to God. I am so very grateful that I've had the opportunity to be moved by Ella's mission and Ella's love, and this incredible, I'm actually just speechless when I'm here. It's hard not to cry. It's easy to feel Ella's presence, to know that she would be, I think she would just be in awe of what she hears. I think she'd be singing along and being Ella, the beautiful woman that we love and miss so much. So for the handbell choirs that you see today, the love, the light, the legacy, and the Lord's work, and still remembering those we serve, and even those in faraway countries that we may not realize how those lives have been changed. It started from Ella. I don't know for sure, maybe somebody knows. A thought? Did she see something? Did she see the bell somewhere? Did she hear something? It fascinates me, but definitely of God. I do believe from her that the legacy will continue, and I am forever grateful, as I think we all are, I am forever grateful to Ella for the blessed chance to be a part of this amazing group of people in every way. Thank you.
Thanks, Janet. As Janet alluded to, it's a family effort. The support of the spouses over the years cannot be understated. Of course, Dave Dick supported Ella. Mike Freena now supports Tracey. Now, I've been behind Mike a few times on the roads of Niagara on the Lake. He seems like a good driver, Now, Dave, on the other hand, we were on tour. I know I'm getting back to the tour thing. I shouldn't be sharing these things. But the sign either said Einbahnstrasse or one-way street. I remember that much. And when pulled over after many honking horns, Dave rolled down the window and said, "Hey, I'm only going one way." He seemed he was justified in it. But we saw those silent partners behind the scenes supporting their spouses, supporting us as a team, and it was a family effort. So we appreciate the spouses and the families who supported. The Handbell Ensemble is made up of selected talented young adult ringers who currently ring in a choir, or did at one time, and will be ringing challenging music. The first song, Rondo, it's because I can't pronounce the second word. I've tried. A choir favorite is an original composition written for handbells. Cynthia Dobrensky wrote it as a thank you to her parents. We know that the ringers are thankful to their parents too for letting them make a commitment to the Handbell Choir. And I'll thank my mother. She's in the room as well, right there. The next song has fun and exciting selections from Disney's Beauty and the Beast. I mentioned Brian's name earlier, and Brian's mother was here today, but he could not make it. And his whole life took a different path because of his experience with the choirs over the years. He just sent me a text as we were getting ready today, so I'd like to read it to you. I'm so sorry I can't be there in person to celebrate the Niagara Bethany Handbell Choir's 50th anniversary, but I'm honored to share a few words. I was part of both the youth choir and the handbell choir for about 10 years, starting when I was around 9 or 10. I was originally drawn in by the fact that Bethany Church had a gym and floor hockey equipment. What I found, though, was something far more meaningful. I discovered a love for singing and ringing that would shape the course of my life. I still remember the moment after a bell choir rehearsal when I began singing along to music that John and Dee Dee were practicing as I walked out of the sanctuary, and Mrs. Dick heard me and asked me to come back in to join in. And in that instant, everything changed. That encouragement set me on a path to study music at university and then on to a classical singing career. The choir gave me more than musical training. It gave me confidence, community, lifelong friendships, and unforgettable experiences, including tours to Germany, Expo 86, and England. I carry those memories with me to this day. I am deeply grateful to Mrs. Dick and now Tracey for continuing to give so many young people in this community the gift of music. Congratulations on this incredible milestone. I truly wish I could be there with you all to celebrate on such a special occasion. Handbell music can tell stories through the sound, rhythm, and dynamics. The first song, Meditation on Beautiful Savior, was written as a dedication to a position 6 ringer who had cancer. Grazioso is an original composition, and it tells the story through music of a ringer's struggle with illness and their ultimate journey to heaven. And of course, it cannot be a handbell concert without a Christmas song. The First Noel combines bells and chimes and is a choir favorite.
Well, thank you all for coming this afternoon. I'll just have a few short words before we conclude our concert. And a lot is said about Mrs. Ella Dick and the Dick family, so I will just share my short little story of how I became to be part of this. And again, Mrs. Dick, well, Ella, but simply known to all of us as Mrs. Dick, was a woman that believed music had a mission. And decades ago, she thought the youth of Niagara could be more than just students. She saw a way to help the world. She founded the Handbell Choir with a clear purpose to support God's Grace Children's Hospital in Haiti with the motto, Children Helping Children. She didn't just teach us how to play music, she instilled in us a sense of duty to our choir, church, and our community. Mrs. Dick was my neighbor. She lived behind me. And she reached out to me, my sister, and some of our Dutch schoolmates, asking us if we wanted to join her choir. That simple neighborly invitation opened up a door I never expected to walk through. I started as a novice in the junior handbell choir in 1981, eventually finding my rhythm and progressing to the senior choir. Little did I know that those rehearsals were starting to shape the rest of my life. When the time came for Mrs. Dick to retire, she turned to me and asked if I would take the lead. I'll be honest, I was terrified. I don't have a degree in music. I felt woefully unqualified to fill her shoes. But then I realized that handbells is a lot like math, and as an accountant, I found that a little bit easy. There's just many different ways to count to 4. So I took that leap of faith, and I've never looked back. I've a lot of memories, and I won't go into detail about those, but I am very happy that in 2015 we founded the Jubilation Adult Handbell Choir because a lot of alumni just had a sense of joy and wanted to ring again. And there's a saying that goes, 100 years from now, it will not matter what my bank account was, the sort of house I had, or the kind of car I drove, but the world may be different because I was important in the life of a child. And my world is different, and the world of every ringer here is different because Mrs. Dick decided to reach out to her neighbor all those years ago. And that is the true legacy of the Handbell Choir. Whether we're young or old, we are proof that one person's dedication can create a ripple effect of service, and that lasts for generations. And we see that through the Handbell family. We have mother and son, we have mother and daughter, father and son, sisters, brothers, grandparents, the list goes on. And as I look back over the 5 decades of music, I realize that while I may be it's very emotional, standing in front, these handbell choirs have been sustained by a symphony of support. And so I want to take this moment to acknowledge the people that have made this possible. Obviously, my deepest gratitude is to Mrs. Dick and her husband, Dave Sr. Their love, vision, and tireless support into the formation of the Handbell Choir created a foundation that has stood the test of time. To Bethany Mennonite Church and the entire congregation, thank you for being our home. Your dedicated support for the last 50 years has allowed this ministry to flourish and reach so many lives. To the parents and ringers, past and present, thank you. We have always taken pride in the fact that there was never a cost to join the Bell Choir. We only ask that you made a commitment. And I truly appreciate the sacrifices you make to get your children to performances and practice and your unwavering support of the Bell Choir. To the current ringers, both the Niagara Bethany Handbell Choir and Jubilation, you're the reason that I do this. You make Tuesday nights a lot of fun, filled with laughter, and we make beautiful noise together. You played so well today, and I'm so incredibly proud of all of you. Thank you to Forrest for your filling in for our MC and all your fun stories. I mean, afterwards we'll talk and we'll share many stories about Mrs. Dick and all the fun times we've had with her. But I also need to thank my family, my parents, Ed and Ellie, for driving me all those years and for supporting me for the past 45, for supporting my passion for handbells. Sorry. To my children, Michael, Rachel, and Josh, you are amazing. You supported the choir in every way. First, you had to ring because you were told to, but you had no choice. You were always voluntold when we were short people, and you were always my roadies helping with the setup and cleanup, and I'm so proud of the adults that you've become and for you sharing your passion still today. And to Michael, my husband, you are the #1 supporter and my most faithful roadie. For 31 years, you have been patient and selfless, knowing Tuesday nights are for handbells so I can pursue this passion. Whether you're carrying heavy cases or working tirelessly behind the scenes, you make sure every performance is set up perfectly, and your faithfulness means the world to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love you. So on that note, we are going to conclude the concert with both handbell choirs together, forced to say those bells are 50 years old. These bells are 19, and we had a polishing party, and so they actually look both quite the same. So we are going to do Abide With Me, which is a song I know Mrs. Dick liked, and then we are going to end with Thanks Be to Thee, which Janet touched on, which a lot of you might know. And I will end with that we are just so thankful to everyone that God has been working in Niagara and the Lake and letting us make a joyful noise to the Lord. So thanks be to thee, Lord God of hosts. My soul shall be joyful in thee. I will always rejoice in thy salvation. Okay, guys, come up.
Beautifully done. We're almost at the close, but not quite. A few things we want to mention yet. But first of all, let's say thank you one more time to the choir, to the Handbell Choir. If you've looked in your bulletin, and you probably have, you will see that there's an awful lot of names here of people who've been in the choir over the last 50 years. Yeah, how many years has it been? Oh yeah, 50. Over the last 50 years. 26, I count 26 bell ringers here, but I count at least about 200 on this list. So I want to ask, who here in the congregation, in the audience, who here has been a part of the bells in the past? Hands up, everybody. Look at that. Now I got a couple other questions. Who was here at the very start? How many hands from the very start? A few. Who all went to Haiti? Hands up if you went to Haiti. Wonderful. Hands up if you rang for the Queen Mother when she was here. Oh, okay, there's a few more again. Who went to Germany? Oh, there's quite a few that went to Germany. And you rang in England for the Queen Mother again, right? Not for the Queen? You just rang in England? Okay. There we go. Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, this has been a great, great presentation. And you know, I was thinking as Tracey was speaking and as was mentioned that, you know, Ella Dick did so very much to get this going. But if you've read this write-up, the story of Niagara Bells, you will see that there was a person who's actually been the director of Niagara Bethany Handbells longer than Ella Dick was. And while Ella Dick was absolutely instrumental and foundational in getting the handbells started, somebody else has been very essential and instrumental in keeping the handbells going. And there is no 50th anniversary for this beautiful choir without Tracey Freena. So I'm going to embarrass you for a minute and ask you to come on up because there's actually several people that want to say thank you. And we're going to ask the grandkids and great-grandkids of Ella Dick to come on up. And why don't you stand over there?
just her dream, and you just graciously took over. And your beautiful story. We never heard that whole story. And
Backyard neighbors.
Omi's here, and she's so proud and watching over. And thank you so much, Tracey. It just means the world to us and everybody. It just brings. We felt like we were just here. Doing it, and Sherry wanted to know if we wanted to do an encore. She used to do it all on her own. She used to do all
milestones, but it's easier to do now because it hangs.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, so that was, we saw that, so that was wonderful.
Alma would be very proud. She'd be very proud. These are for you.
Yeah, I was going to say the bulletin tells us how long you've been the director, so you must have been a child prodigy because you can hardly be over 29. So. And then Janet and Linda and Ken, are you coming up? Yeah? Make your way around here. Yeah, use the mic if you're saying something.
I couldn't begin to say how many hours we know Tracey puts into this, choosing music, ordering music, marking music, organizing the binders for the order of services, packing music, setting up for music, taking down for music, having some help. Probably we don't give her as much as we should, but she has such an amazing network of people, but she is the driving force behind what you see in totality. It blows my mind that she still has an actual real job. I don't know when she sleeps or has time for that, but we are ever grateful for the beautiful legacy that you are now leading, and no words to express, just an amazing woman. Thank you. From Jubilee.
Yeah, we're not done yet, there's more.
Goodness. Tracey, on behalf of the congregation of Bethany Church, we'd like to show our appreciation and thank you. It's evident how many lives you've touched. I did the math, and I'm not as good as her, but I thought it was like 198. But your vision, your passion, you've enriched the lives of everybody that's participated, and you've blessed the lives of the thousands that have heard your music and your positive mission. So thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Thank you, Ken.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And with that ends this portion of this afternoon. There are treats downstairs, there's snacks and drinks down there. Everybody is invited to continue the celebration and the conversation. Let's close in prayer. Holy God, thank you for this beautiful celebration, this celebration of what you have done and are doing and keep on doing. And what a beautiful thing it was that Tracey said towards the end of the service. What a blessing it is to have an important place, a meaningful place in another person's life, in the life of a child. We thank you for that influence that has taken place through the ministry of the Handbells, that people, that not only are bells rung and are lessons learned, but so much more importantly, dear God, lives are shaped, character is formed, and values are passed on. So we thank you for this tremendous grace. And thank you that we are instruments of your grace in other people's lives. Amen. God bless you. Go in peace.